Collisions, calamities, car wrecks, these types of incidents can be scary enough to make you feel like your heart is skipping a beat. But our first video is literally a heart-stopping moment when a young girl goes into cardiac failure at a Texas middle school, and it's all caught on camera. It's a normal school day until a 12-year-old girl's heart suddenly stops beating.
The first thing I thought, scary, very scary. Because I didn't know what I was looking at.
September 26, 2011, Frisco, Texas. Kylee Shea is walking the hallways of Moss Middle School with her friends when she suddenly has trouble breathing. Attempting to sit down, she collapses, and it's all caught on a time-lapse security camera. Kylie's friends run for help. The first person they see is phys ed coach Kirsten Goodgen. She has no idea what a dramatic turn her day is about to take.
So it was just a normal day. We just got through with PE. Two girls came running in and said, "Kylie's having a seizure, come quick." And at that point, I just took off as fast as I could into the hallway. As soon as I got to her, I could tell it wasn't a seizure. She was just having convulsions, and her breathing was already to where she couldn't breathe. There was zero responsiveness. Her body was just twitching. You know, I kept asking her, "Kylie, can you hear me? Kylie, can you hear me?"
As far as Coach Goodgen knows, Kylie is a perfectly healthy child. At least she was, until now. The coach recognizes how grave the situation is.
So I said, "Go get Coach Reese," because I knew right away she's going to need CPR.
Phys ed coach Brent Reese's day is also about to take a dramatic turn.
I hear a girl call, "Coach Reese, Coach Reese, Kylie's having a seizure." And so I immediately run out of the office, and I see Kristen over Kylie saying, "I think she's having a seizure." She fell in front of the tables, so I lifted up the seat to give her room if she was having a seizure so she wouldn't hurt herself. A million things are going through my mind at that time. Kristen asked me, "Should I go get the AED?" I said, "Yes."
2 minutes in, Coach Goodgen rushes to retrieve the AED, or automated external defibrillator, as Coach Reese tries to engage Kylie, to no avail.
When I see her face white, her lips are blue, it was at that moment, and it's just an instant. There's no words that can really describe what I felt. It's she belongs to somebody, and somebody really loves her. In my mind, that's not normal. She's not getting circulation. It's go time.
Coach Reese begins performing CPR on Kylie as Coach Goodgen arrives with the AED. The device electronically diagnoses cardiac emergencies and treats them with electric shocks to reestablish a normal heart rhythm.
I was very afraid to use the AED just because, you know, we've done it in training, but on a live person, you know, it's just any kind of situation where you have to use that extreme measures, CPR, AED, you just are unsure.
It's now been 3 minutes since Kylie's collapse. Coach Reese has attached the sensors to her chest, and the machine takes a reading of her heartbeat. It recommends shock advised. Shocking someone who already has a heartbeat can do more harm than good, so it's a scary moment.
I turned and looked at Kristen like, it said shock advised. Are you kidding me? Did I put these things on right? Are we supposed to do this? She's like, yeah.
The first shock to Kylie's heart is unsuccessful. She is dying. As the team around Kylie increases to include the school nurse, their inner fears are tempered by the need to save Kylie's life.
The first shock, it said continue compressions.
I'm getting very frustrated, but I go back to compressions knowing that circulation is the most important thing. And it said shock advised.
We're like, again?
The red button on the AED shines again, and before I push the button a second time, I looked to Nurse Hope and said, "Did I put these on right?"
The team doesn't know it, but their hard work is about to pay off. After the second time, they shock Kylie's heart.
It's probably around that time where Kylie starts coming back, where she starts a light little cry.
When Kylie finally came back, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. Her eyes just opened real big.
And I remember looking down at her, she's crying, and she's turning a little bit like she's in pain, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I just hurt this little girl.
She was moaning and crying. Her eyes were still glazed to where she wasn't focusing. And all of a sudden, her eyes opened really big, and she turned her head to me. And as soon as that happened, she started responding to questions. And it was just this huge sigh of relief. What we did worked. Kylie's here. Then she started crying for her mom. And I just kept telling her, "Kylie, honey, you're gonna be okay. Mom's coming, mom's on her way."
The coaches, with the help of the AED, have saved Kylie's life. Emergency medical technicians take over her care and airlift her to Houston's Children's Hospital. Her parents, Cheryl and Mike, arrive shortly after.
When we came to the room, I looked in and couldn't enter. Just panicked, like, oh my God, what's going on?
And one of the doctors said, "Kylee, your mom is here." And she said, "Mom." Of course, immediately I panic. She couldn't see me because I was at the front of the room, and she had a neck brace, so she's looking straight up. She can't look out. So then I run in to grab her hand. And I grabbed her hand, and we locked eyes. And she said, "Mommy." And I was thrilled that she recognized me.
But Kylee won't get to savor the reunion for long. Within an hour, she goes into surgery, where she's fitted with a pacemaker to help protect her from what turns out to have been a previously undetected abnormality.
Kylee did not have a seizure. She has an arrhythmia. What the AED read was ventricular fibrillation, which her heart stopped working and stopped pumping blood to her brain.
Armed for life with a pacemaker, Kylee is grateful to be alive.
My operation was a pacemaker surgery, which I have the scar right here. You can barely see it now because I've had it in for a while. And what it is it has two leads that go in my top ventricle and my bottom ventricle. And they keep my heart at a steady beat.
If it detects that it's going into a pattern that it went into on September 26th, it will shock her. The pacemaker part of it keeps her heart from going below a certain beats per minute.
I'm feeling much better, a lot better than I did the day. Definitely a lot better.
After reviewing the school security video, Kylee's doctors believe she was less than 30 seconds away from severe brain damage or death. Her parents feel deeply indebted to the coaches for performing the life-saving procedures they did.
Thank you is not enough. It doesn't cut it, doesn't cover it.
Every day, I run up to them, I give them hugs, and I say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And words don't even describe how I feel, how lucky I am to have them.
If it would have happened anywhere else, we would not be sitting here. This would be a different story, and it wouldn't have a happy ending. It would be a tragedy.